Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is Scribes and Scrolls, the Candlekeep Mysteries, Book 3, The Book of the Raven. Tonight's episode is Chapter 17, Moonlight in Our Souls. This is, of course, our regular D&D campaign happening every Monday night, right here on twitch.tv/ Mini Terrain Domain at 8 p.m. Eastern. As you can see, we are down one Ricky. Ricky is not able to join us tonight, but hopefully will be able to join us next week. First and foremost, I would like to once again congratulate our own Gary for another successful side quest from Quest for the Cure this weekend. Once again, exceeding the goal. What was the total for Saturday's game, and what is your current total at?
We are at 500. We raised $515 on Saturday night.
Wow.
And our total is, since we started in September of last year, so we're coming up onto the 1 year anniversary, is $27,784.69.
Awesome.
Nice.
Hey,
Nice.
Very nice.
Yes, that's very awesome. Incredible groups of gamers and GMs that you've put together. And I believe you're having on this Saturday some sort of community day that I'm a part of. Tell us about that.
Yes, it's very exciting. So last year we first started Squad Up on Quest for the Cure on Squad Up Community Day, and we're doing it again. So we have 3 games. One of them is run by our own wonderful MTT Jake, and it's called Monsters Under the Bed. I don't know what that means, but it sounds cool. Tanya DePass is running a game, and then at the end of the night at 8 o'clock, I am going to be running the finale of Quest for the Cure, which we've been running for a year now. So I'm really excited about that. And we've got incredible players. Jordan's playing, Nix is playing. We have Paul Shapiro from Beetle and Grimm, and a whole bunch of all-star players. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do. And we are perilously close to $30,000. And as a reward to the community, to all of you, really, if we hit $30,000 by the end of the Quest for the Cure finale this coming Saturday at 11 p.m., I am going to give myself a no-hawk, and I'm going to keep it for 1 whole week. That's 3 streams. I will have a no-hawk during this fine game next week, during my Dark Alliance stream on Wednesday, and during Phasmo Friday on Friday night. And if you don't know what a no-hawk is, I'm going to take a #1 clipper and I'm going to go straight down the middle of my head. So
how do I donate again?
Yeah.
Why don't I pass you all the link?
Yeah, put the link in chat.
Yes.
Be sure to show up for that. If for hopefully you show up to donate for the incredible cause, which is
Yes,
to
of
benefit
That too,
Duchenne muscular dystrophy research, with the side benefit of Gary getting a no-hawk for a week, and to see some incredible games. So yeah, tune in to it's Quest for the Cure is the Twitch channel, Gary, right?
Team Squad Up.
Oh, sorry, Team Squad Up.
Twitch.tv/Team Squad Up.
Perfect. So be sure to tune in for that. As for here on our game, if you look up above Jordan's head, you'll notice that there are 12 domain tomes.
Oh, God.
Those domain tomes are a way that you, the viewer, can have an influence on the game simply by subscribing, gift subs, resubs, $5 tips, 500 bit cheers, or you can use the link that is right down here below me for the coffee link, and you can either do a one-off tip or you can become a member of the MTD Jake Coffee, and that will earn you. All of those will earn you domain tomes. I cannot read what you are trying to tell us.
I'm trying to change the light, Jake. You don't have to point it out right when it happens. Dang it! You jump. I just
Cari
sit
is
here
surly
quietly.
tonight.
I haven't slept in months. No. Frickin',
Oh.
I said, guys, please donate tomes. I was a jerk last week, and I still feel
speaking
bad.
of which, Acerson just donated
Whoa.
5 subs to the
Thank
community.
you.
So thank you for that. That means you are going to get you're going to get back all those domain tomes that you selfishly used last week. I'm just kidding.
Acerson. No, I felt terrible. I've legit.
They're
felt
yours
bad.
to use and they're
They're
yours to
fine.
lose.
Listen, I feel great that I felt, that you had to use that because you were going up against this area. So the fact that you had to use that.
So
Saria doesn't know anything about
now
it.
that you've seen
Nope.
how domain tomes work, domain tomes, of course, can be used to gain advantage for 1 tome, reroll for 3 tomes, or make me reroll for 5 tomes. Really quick, we're going to just do a quick in-chat reference to our sponsors, Talon and Claw, with code MTDClaw. You can check out their Etsy shop for wonderful dice and gaming accessories. Use code MTDClaw at checkout and get 10% off of your order. Also, be sure to check out our good friend and sponsor partner, Run Right Play. Check out Keel's Patreon over there. Keel is fostering an incredible community of collaboration. Puts out a digital and physical zine that he puts together every month, as well as doing being an indie game developer and putting together some gamification stuff for dealing with ADHD, all kinds of great stuff going on over there. So yeah, be sure to check them out. I mentioned it for the domain tomes, but do check out the coffee.com/mtdjake if you want to support the channel. I've disabled the Patreon, moved everything over to the coffee link, and one of the perks is eventually I'll put some stuff together for the midstream, but shout outs to people that become supporters, and one of our first and only supporter for memberships right now is in the chat, recently had a birthday. Happy birthday to Hawkmere, one of the coffee members. Happy birthday, Hawkmere. Good to see you back. The last thing I want to mention real quick before we get into our game tonight is just a reminder that you matter. Your presence on this earth makes a difference. I say it before every game, and I mean it before every game and always. We're all struggling with things, different things. The important thing is that you don't have to struggle alone. If you find yourself struggling and you need someone to talk to, it is simple as typing !help in the chat, and the URL is findahelpline.com. Visit that website, bookmark it, save it for yourself, save it for a friend. All you have to do is enter a couple things and you will be given a list of various resources for whatever it is that you may need help in. We do encourage you to please use that. Do not suffer alone or in silence. All right, with that, I think it's time to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Woo!
As of late, the gang has been heading out on another mission from Candlekeep. They found a book called the Book of the Raven. In it, a mysterious map that they are investigating for Candlekeep. They are traveling south for about 3 days to the foothills of the mountains, looking for some place called Witchway. Of course, they were barely 2 hours outside of town when they decided to look for a duck. They found a duck. They found 2 ducks. They used a couple different methods, one of which triggered some giant boars and regular sized boars to come out of the brush and attack. I'll spare you the details. Suffice it to say, the gang now has about 25 pounds of pork. Salted pork that is feeding them along their way. And it ended, the evening of their first day of travel ended with Assyria and Teera sparring, and It was a close fight. In the end, Teera knocked Assyria out and then promptly passed out herself from that frenzied exhaustion. And as everybody bedded down for the night, Doc took Vorn up into the sky to see a whole new world as they went flying around. And Mizya noted as they flew silhouetted against the moon that they were only one day away from the first full moon. Or the next, not the first, the next. It's the first full moon since you started.
Full moon? My
yes,
God.
the moon has never been full before now. Centuries have been building up to this moment.
Oh my God.
And so we open up on our adventurers. Once again, you've got your couple of horses. You've got a horse-drawn wagon that Mizya is in. I believe Doc typically drives the wagon. And the other three of you are riding horseback. Soren periodically running alongside or possibly hopping into the wagon for a less strenuous walk. It's a few hours into the day, and you are continuing to head south along the road. Is there anything in particular you are talking about or thinking about as you are in your travels?
It's
I
so hot. Are we almost there?
Yes, Mizya. We're almost there.
How long have we been traveling, by the way, Jake? This morning, at least?
I would say we're probably you probably got started fairly early in the morning. You've probably been traveling for about we'll say 3 or 4 hours.
Okay. All right. You see Assyria has been kind of just keeping an eye out, but she's towards the back of the cart. And she's just been kind of weaving long pieces of grass together as she's been riding, every so often saying, ow, because she's very sore.
I kind of
Ow.
I hear her and I feel bad for a while, and I consider going back there, and like the orc in me doesn't want to apologize, but then at the same time I'm like, oh man, and I kind of fall back eventually, and I'm like, what you making?
Oh, hi. It's a parasol for Mizya, and she looks underneath the cart where Mizya's just underneath. That way, at least Mizya could be a little bit more comfortable.
That's adorable, Assyria.
Thank you.
Are you feeling okay after the bout?
A little sore, but I've been through worse.
Yeah, me too. I think you broke my nose. I don't know. Do I sound a little stuffed up?
I just thought it was maybe the hangover.
No. You think I can get hungover?
I mean, I never know. I've yet
No.
to see you reach really your limit.
That's true.
Yeah,
I haven't
so
reached it in a long time.
That's fair.
Anyway, you gave me a run for my money. You should know that.
that's good. I don't really remember much at the end of the fight, so
Yeah, you probably wouldn't. I gave you a good one. So,
yeah.
but you know, respect.
Mhm.
And I kind of say we have a word in Orcish, and I teach Assyria the word for respect in Orcish, and I'm like, it's really, really important to us. We don't throw it around just like anything. So, and then I
Right.
say the word again.
Just say it, kind of scrunching up her face as she does, trying to
Mhm.
mimic it almost exactly.
And I kind of just am trying to be polite. I'm like, yeah, you got it exactly. And I give Assyria a little punch on the shoulder, which is probably a
Mhm.
little too hard. Sorry. And then I kind of hustle up and go back kind of towards the front of the cart where I had been walking before.
So you kind of sidle back. And
Yep.
she'll go back to basically working on the cart on the parasol. Probably if they've been traveling for this amount of time, she's probably nearly done.
Doc, how you liking your duck?
He's very pleasant when he's not quacking.
Yeah. I mean, he seems like he's a very good duck. Do you love him? Doc?
What?
I said, do you love him? Do you love your Einstein Jr., whatever that means?
I don't know what that means. But
Oh,
Like, you don't know, like, what love means?
no. How do you know if you love something?
Oh. Well, it's kind of hard to explain. Yeah, when you know, you know. I don't know a better way to describe it. You feel kind of like warm all over in your chest about another person or maybe even a duck.
Am I in love? I'm so warm.
No, Mizya, you just might be having a heat stroke. It's different.
This is miserable.
But-
I know. Asari is making you a very special gift. Be patient.
Hanks, that was supposed to be a surprise. You just
Sorry. If you wanted it to be a surprise, Asari, you maybe should have told me so.
I didn't think you were gonna actually share that.
I yell everything I hear. You know me.
I know
Yes,
that
it's an
now.
ice bath. I
No.
could totally use an ice bath.
As those two start yapping back and forth, I just kind of like go to Doc and I'm like, I kind of like pat him on the chest and I'm like, you know, when you know, you'll know, Doc.
That's very confusing.
I know.
But if you know, and you know, does that mean you love me?
Well, I mean, I guess, yeah, in a way. We've been together for a while now.
Oh,
You know, like I have my brother. I haven't seen him in a while, but I love him. You know, like people have family members that they love. You know, they want to take care of them and protect them.
oh,
Yeah. Well, anyway, someday when you find love, you'll know it when you feel it.
if you say
We've
so.
been through a lot, Jake.
I couldn't help it. You're like, we've been together for a while now, and in the side chat, I'm like, 2 weeks. You've known each
Yeah,
other for
well,
2 weeks.
okay. I have died twice.
There
There
you
has
go.
been a bond. Anyway, and then I just
It's like
sort of
church camp.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. I just kind of like shrug and I just keep walking beside the carriage.
Doc is gonna look around, and he's gonna say, "Does anybody else have any detours they'd like? There's a rock over there we could look at, or there's a tree. Well, there's another tree.
Can we
Asaria?
go where it's not so hot?
Oh god. Oh my god.
Does anybody else think Mizya's hot?
Oh,
What would give you that idea,
Mm.
Doc?
Well, they keep shouting, "I'm very hot. I'm very hot. Can we go somewhere where it's not hot?" That's what gave me the idea, Teera.
mm.
Stellar intellect, Doc. We should bring you along on mysteries all the time.
Fortunately for you, Mizya, Vorn, who has been paying attention to the directions you were given back at Candlekeep, you're beginning. Vorn is sort of guiding Doc and the wagon off road a little bit. The road curves slightly to the southeast, but you need to go south. So you're going off the road and you're picking up a lesser traveled road, more of a 2-track. And it's going through several areas of trees, so there is intermittent shade.
You just hear Misha. Oh, that feels. Oh, that's hot. Oh,
Vorn,
that's better. Oh, that's. Oh no.
I lean to Asaria. I'm like, I'll have what they're having.
You just see
Asaria.
Asaria go beat red. Yes.
what are they having, and why do you want it?
Never
Oh.
mind, Doc.
Don't worry about it. Talk.
I was making a joke. It's a hilarious reference that maybe you wouldn't understand. I don't want to
Lots
make
of-
you feel bad.
Lots of bad.
I thought jokes were funny.
Oh, dang.
Mm.
Oh,
Oh,
Brr.
Teera, that was funny. Don't worry. I got it.
I appreciate it.
All about the
Asaria.
birds
Still
and the
s-
bees. Yep.
yeah, still
Assyria,
stinks.
I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh no! Is it starting?
Yes, it be-
Is what
It
starting?
begins.
What dice do I use? I don't know. Okay.
It is time.
Okay. Wisdom safe. Oh no. Okay. 14.
As you continue traveling along for the next few hours, you're starting to get irritable.
Mm.
It starts with just the way Mizya says something. It just sort of, their voice just sort of cuts into your brain. The way Teera riding nearby, the sound of just the horse's hooves and Teera's breathing, it's just getting on your nerves. Doc pointing out random pieces of flora and fauna. Every once in a while, Einstein Jr. quacks.
Oh.
And every time he quacks, you just, for some reason, you just want to throttle that duck. Everything is irritating you.
Okay. You'll probably see Asaria start to kind of drop back a little bit further, allowing the loudness to go forward. She's still moving. Probably still at this point, to prevent shredding the parasol she's been working on, she's put it away. And
I would imagine by now, you've been traveling for several hours. You may be done with that.
okay.
Unless you're trying to do extra, make it extra special.
No. I thought about it. Asaria wouldn't. Like, it's just she doesn't know Mizya that well yet.
No, you're getting into
Um,
late afternoon now,
yeah.
and so you've been able to work on this for several hours.
Okay. Yeah. So she'll finish and put it in the bag. She was gonna give it to Mizya, and then Mizya and everybody started getting on her nerves. So
I see Asaria kind of falling back, and I'm like, "Oi, keep up, elf. You're not that tired."
half elf.
What's that?
Nothing.
All right.
Man, you hate the way Teera's voice sounds right now. It looked like Doc pinched Einstein Jr.
Pinched him. This is why I like to travel alone. Well, besides you, and she looks down at Soren.
All right. You're continuing to travel for the next few hours. Make me another wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Oh God.
9.
The next
Nice.
person that says something or does something that irritates you,
It's
you're gonna
so
snap.
hot.
Damn it, Dwight!
Mizya, will you shut up?
Oh, but it's hot. We've
I
been out here
imagine-
all day.
Asaria just yelled, "Shut up!" I imagine, does like the cart stop?
I don't know. Doc's driving it.
I kind of like turn back to Asaria. Like, oi, Asaria, what's the deal?
You are so loud. So loud.
We're not
Do
being
we not
any-
have 5 minutes of just no talking? Nothing.
I think based on our experience so far, Assyria, that's unlikely.
Oh, sakes. This is why I travel alone. Oh my god.
Teera kind of puffs her chest out and goes, oi. Well, if you want to travel alone, the path back home is that way. You're welcome to take it.
No, it's just we're making a lot of noise. What if the enemy's in the area? We don't know what is in the area. We're basically ringing the dinner bell. We might as well be a little quieter. That's
Did
all
you
I'm
say
saying.
dinner? I'm so
Oh my
hungry.
God.
Mizya, I bang on the side of the cart. Shush.
What?
She's not wrong. We should probably be a little bit quieter. We don't want to get ambushed by any more boars or werewolves or werejackals or, anything else, bandits.
Well, those were at night. I don't think those happened during the day. We should be fine. And I kind of catch Assyria's eye as I'm explaining, and I just kind of like trail off mid-sentence. Yes, but right.
Mizya and Teera, you can make insight checks.
14.
9.
Teera, there's definitely something unusual eating at Assyria. Like, I mean, right off the bat anyway, this is not usual Assyria behavior. But you can see in the way she's riding, she's holding herself in the saddle, just look, every little sound any of you make just seems to make her wince a little bit.
Okay. Has Doc stopped the cart, or are we still just kind of slowly moving?
You're still moving.
Perfect. So I just sort of fall back next to Assyria. I'm like, are you okay? Did I knock something loose?
No. And you see at this point, like, Assyria's going between, like, rubbing her temple and unbeknownst to the rest of the group, she's kind of, like, moving her hand, like, fingers over where the mark's at, too. It's a lot of noise. And in the woods, you need to be quieter. That's all.
You said you move your hand to where the mark is?
Mhm.
Like, just like through the, like on the outside of the
top
armor?
Yeah, outside the armor. Kind of just like,
It's tender.
Ooh.
it's a lot of noise. And I'm used to traveling with a much smaller group. We haven't known each other that long, although apparently by you and Doc's standards, you've known each other long. I'm just getting used to it. That's just a lot of noise.
Try to make less noise. And I kind of pat Assyria like on the thigh, and I'm like, I keep going forward, and I'm just over my shoulder. I'm like, I don't really want you to take the path home. And then I just kind of keep riding back up beside the cart where I was before.
I think as you're kind of moving forward, you see like a flash of like pain in her eyes as those words are kind of hitting. And she'll just kind of quickly go back to at this point probably she has reached into her bag and she's kind of nervously fumbling a small wolf figurine that it looks shredded. Soren has chewed on this many times.
Oh, Bubba.
But you see her just kind of holding it while she's riding and just kind of absentmindedly like moving her fingers over it as they're riding.
You ride for about just a couple more hours. and you all just sort of agree that this is, you find a spot along the way where you can sort of pull off of the trail under the shelter of the trees, and a decent area to make camp for the night, as you've been traveling for over 8 hours. Everybody's in carts or on horseback, so there's no fear of exhaustion, but it's getting close enough to evening that you'll want to set up camp while you still have daylight. You're able to set up your cook fires and cook more pork. It's only been a day or two, so no, I'm sure nobody's getting sick of it at all. It's delicious. You're able to...
Teera just has grease dripping down her face, then just says out loud, "I swear, I could never get sick of pork."
Vorn has a
damn it.
mouthful of pork and just says,
Doc, it's got protein in it. It's good for you. Quit making that face. We're gonna have to give you some, just like medicine. You need protein.
Teera,
Yeah.
you got some pork here, and here, and like here. How did you get it up here?
Yeah, I don't know. I got really excited about dinner. I was hungry.
Doc is very distressed by this.
I've never heard
It's pretty
Doc's
gross.
never heard Doc's
Doc
voice go
hit
up
that
the octave.
Doc reached a new register.
Well, now we know Doc's true nightmare.
Pork grease.
Pork grease.
Mizya, once the camp is set and by the time the meat has been cooked and dinner is served, the heat of the day, it's still the latter part of spring, but it's been unusually warm these past couple days. But as night's falling, it's starting to cool off. You're a lot more comfortable.
I think once the sun goes down too, that's really what was doing me in for the most part. So
Yeah.
I noticeably perk up as much as Mizya can perk up. I'm noticeably less miserable. I'll put it that way.
Assyria, make one more wisdom saving throw for me.
Okay, that's better. That's a 19.
You're becoming less agitated, possibly. Once you were able to sort of settle down, once you got into camp here, Soren immediately came out of the, bounded out of the wagon, and was almost alerting like a helper animal, just staying really close to your side, realizing that something is wrong. And you find yourself able to, with Soren's presence, sort of find your calm and become less irritated. You're still slightly annoyed by everybody around you. Teera is so loud and Vorn when they eat. Just, you know, when somebody's like chewing with their mouth open and smacking their lips.
Mm-hmm.
I won't do the sound effects,
Please
but
don't.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please no.
That's what's that thing, that brain thing that people have that it really bothers them when misophonia. That's what it's
Yeah.
called.
yeah, it's
agitating.
agitating. It's agitating, but with Soren's presence, you're able to sort of push it down and not focus on it as much. Eventually, true night begins to fall, and it's time to establish your watch for the evening. What is the watch order going to be?
I'll take a watch.
Remember,
I'll go-
though he's not here, you still have Vorn.
Yep. Sarah
I'll go
will
for-
also take a watch too.
I'll go first.
Okay. Teera's going first, followed by
Asteria.
Saria second.
Oh God, I gotta fucking.
Who's
look
taking
up
third
Sarah.
watch?
I suppose I will.
hot to sleep anyway.
And then between Doc and
I-
Vorn, who's going to take last watch?
I mean, I
Second
don't
and to
really.
last.
I only need 4 hours, so I basically can take the rest of the evening.
Okay, so Vorn and Doc don't have to watch, though Doc also basically stays alert during this time as well. Teera, go ahead and make a perception check as everybody is sort of settling down. The fire's crackling. You have a campsite similar, to before. You're able to kind of move around to different points like usual.
I got an 8 perception is all.
You're in a very a more heavily forested area than you've been before. It's not fully forested. It's more like grasslands, rolling hills, but you're in an area where there's more trees than there have been. And you're just hearing a lot of wildlife, but nothing in particular is standing out to you. Just you hear the scuttling of raccoons and probably foxes and things moving about in the trees and the brush, but you don't hear any like heavy footsteps. You don't hear anything approaching or anything like that.
When I go back to camp, I want to like put our food up in a tree to make sure it doesn't get gotten by the raccoons and the critters.
Put it in a tree or do like a bear bag.
Like a bear bag. That's
Okay.
what I'm talking about. Yeah. Like hoist it up into a tree. No, I'm not going to put it up in the tree with them. That'd be ridiculous.
This bear comes along. Hey, look.
Oh my God. A gift from the gods. It's like Christmas.
It's the holy tree.
I'll praise the tree. So I would like to eventually go and wake up Asaria, and I just kind of like go. I sort of forgot about her pissiness earlier, and I'm like, I kind of get down like a little bit, and I just sort of like kick her on the bottom of the boot. I'm like, oi, oi, and I kick her a little hard. I'm like, wake up!
All right, I'm up.
It's your turn.
All right. Cat. I'm sorry.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
He's an athlete.
We just saw a very long paw make a jump for your sword.
She loves this sword so much. If I laid it on the ground, she's just like playing with it.
You've got a tabaxi apprentice.
I know I do. I've got a familiar. I love it. Anyway, so I'm like, all right, well, I didn't see anything other than animals. I put the food up in a tree so they wouldn't get it.
Good.
You're welcome. Good luck, Asaria. And I kind of get ready to go to bed.
Syria, make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no. Okay. Okay. And I kid you not, I've shown you the one.
Oh,
The one?
No.
It's a 1.
You
Plus 1, it's a 2.
when Teera wakes you, you didn't fall asleep. You were lying there listening to the annoying sounds of people trudging through, Teera trudging back and forth on her watch. The others, well, I guess Vorn would be the only other one that you would hear probably snoring somewhere. Mizya is probably up in the cart again, resting in trance, and you can see the firelight reflecting off of Doc's wide open eyes
Jesus.
as Doc is just over by a tree as usual.
Oh my God.
So at this point you have 1 level of exhaustion.
Okay.
After the day of travel and not being able to get to sleep yet.
All right.
Make me a perception check at advantage.
Oh God. Why do you get advantage on perception right now?
Oh. Dirty 20.
Oof.
Oh no.
You're looking around as you get up and probably move, I would imagine move a little bit away from at least where the others are to get away from their annoying noises and stuff. As you move through the trees, you notice that you can see through the shadows a little bit better than usual. You notice there seems to be almost like filtered light falling through the tree leaves, and then you move just far enough in and you see coming up over the distant mountains the full moon rising into the sky. You are continuing to walk around with Soren at your side. And as you walk by a tree, you suddenly find yourself leaning against the tree, on your knees in front of it, having almost passed out. You sort of dropped to your knees. Soren circles around behind you and over to one side and is looking at you. And you're not able to pull yourself upright. You look over at Soren, and if you've ever seen the wildlife documentaries, or you've seen even photos of wolves where their paws are sort of spread out just a little bit into a wider stance, their head is low and they're sort of looking straight ahead, and you can almost see Soren's eyes glowing this almost as if with an inner light, each with its own color. You blink and you hear in your mind not a word, but it's more like the thought of the word, the emotion that goes with this word. Hungry. Followed by hunt. And then looking again at Soren. Soren turns his head to look into the woods, looks back at you, and you hear another word with that impression and the feeling and the emotion of it. Run. And just like that, you and Soren are running through the woods. You are following Soren wherever he goes, keeping pace with him. I would like you to open your character sheet.
Okay.
Go to extras.
Okay.
Oh,
And then click on manage extras.
Okay.
And type in your name, and you should see something pop up as able to be selected.
what is happening?
I think you have to
right
select
now?
miscellaneous from the drop down,
Okay.
and then type in your name, and you'll see something pop up there. Do you see it?
What is it? What is
Add-
it? What is it?
Don't,
What is it?
don't
What
tell
is it?
anybody what it is. Don't give in. Add that to your character sheet as an extra. That has new stats for you. As
Oh my
we
God.
see through your eyes as you're running alongside Soren, and we see this cinematically, this sort of as trees are whipping past and the moonlight is streaking down, and then as suddenly the camera shifts and we see a creek running through the woods, just very, maybe 6 feet across. And suddenly we see two wolves leap across. Assyria, describe what you look like in your wolf form.
So Asaria has her wolf form. She has silver hair. She's got around her eyes what appears to be a throwback to the first episode. It almost looks like wheat, but it's bits of gold that are kind of around her eyes, kind of framing into almost a mask. She's got a very long tail. Her hair is just long in general. And her eyes are her normal eyes. But yeah, that's her. Yeah.
As you run through the woods with Soren, you realize that the words that you are hearing, the thought, feelings, emotions of these words, they're coming from Soren. You reach a certain point where suddenly Soren stops. And you stop next to him. And Soren is... I would like you to make a perception check at advantage because you have keen senses as a wolf.
So metal.
That is going to be 19.
Okay. Sorry, my windows are going nuts.
Also, Jake has mild PTSD from what we went through earlier tonight.
Well, yeah, I had everything opened earlier, and of course when I had to restart, everything closed, so I was trying to open something and it went wild. Okay. Yeah, that tracks. 19, you say?
Yep.
You smell something. It smells feral. It smells large. And it smells delicious. I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw at disadvantage.
Okay. All right. With the things, that's going to be a 13.
You catch the smell, and you need to know what it is. You take off running after it. Soren begins running alongside you, and you hear again in your mind those words, danger.
Oh.
Not ready.
Oh no. Okay.
I would like you to make me an athletics check.
Oh my God. What is Soren's voice? Is it like Morgan Freeman?
It's not really a voice at this point. It's more just the thoughts and impressions of these. So these aren't even really words that Assyria is hearing. It's just the thoughts and emotions that go along with those.
Okay.
But sure, as if Morgan Freeman is saying them.
I tried to warn us area of the danger, but...
What'd you get for
18.
your athletics?
18.
What is Soren's strength score?
His score is a 12.
So it's a...
That's a +1.
What did you end up getting? An 18, you said?
Yes.
Oh, no. You're outrunning Soren.
Oh, no.
You're outrunning Soren. And that you can smell this thing getting closer.
Oh no.
And
Use the tomes.
you get to a certain point. And you know it's up ahead. And then you see it moving through the forest, completely illuminated in a clearing, much larger than you,
Oh no.
ambling forward on large, burly arms and legs, or legs, I guess, total legs. You can see the claws digging into the earth as it walks forward. You see the fur rippling across its back, running into feathers and pointed ears and a beak on its face, as you see an owl bear.
Oh,
And that's where we're going to take our break.
danger, not ready. That's, when I encounter hardships in my daily life now, that's what I'm just going to start to you. Danger, not ready.
All right.
Oh my god.
We are
no.
going to go ahead and take a short break. We'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes, and we'll see what happens with Assyria and Soren. Please stick around. We'll be back in just a few minutes. And we're back. Dwight has insulted Assyria, and Assyria, Jordan has threatened to leave. So on that note, I believe we
Have a
were
good night,
about
everybody.
we were
All
about to
right,
see
We
Assyria.
need context. He called Assyria.
No, we don't
dog.
need context.
We need context.
Nope.
Nope.
We're about to see Assyria get owned by an owl bear. So.
Oh, frick.
Oh my god.
Speaking of owl bears, you rushed off ahead of Soren.
Mm-hmm.
So you come into the light, and there is this owl bear before you. You are suddenly faced off about 20 feet away from this owl bear. What do you want to do? You are
Mm-hmm.
hungry, not just for food, but there's a primal instinct in you that you want to rip this thing apart.
Yep.
You can make a wisdom saving throw at disadvantage if you want to avoid that, or you can give in to the urge. It's your choice. Also, I owe you a domain tome because
Yay.
we got another. I have coffee was closed because of the everything shut down. I want to use a username. I have to be careful because when I get certain notifications, it gives me real names.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to do that. Okay, Ashenworks has tipped
Thank
for.
you.
Oh no, Ashenworks has joined the membership at the adventurer tier. So thank you for that. And that does, of course, earn you another domain tome.
That's my girlfriend.
So you can either roll this saving throw to try to fight the primal
Yep.
urge.
I will try.
Okay.
Come on.
It's at disadvantage.
Use the tomes.
You can use a tome to cancel the disadvantage.
I will. Can I use one tome, please?
Yes, that you get to use the one from Ashenworks from Brandon.
Thank you, Ashton. I know you laughed, but thank you. Yeah, because I rolled a 1. I would like to roll.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay, that's better. Okay. That is a 16. That's better than a 1.
Unfortunately, that is
Oh.
not enough.
Okay.
Oh,
well.
no. Oh,
You
God.
are overtaken by the primal desire to attack this creature. I need you to roll initiative.
No. Oh no.
You are one full round ahead of Soren, so Soren will not be able to aid you.
Okay.
Dude, you gotta like howl loud or something. Oh no.
Oh boy. Okay. So for initiative, I'm looking for the score, sorry. That is going to be a 19.
Okay. And
Oh boy. This is fine.
good old Uncle Owlbear here has a All right, you're first.
Okay.
Nice. Get it. Get
All
him.
right. She is going to dig her paws into, we're in grass, dirt.
You're in, it's sort of like there's some deadfall and foliage around. You're in the trees. You're in a little bit of a clearing, so there's probably some of the almost mulch like dead leaves because it's things are just starting to green up again. Well, they're green. You've got leaves and stuff from trees and the evergreens. So yeah, forest floor.
Okay. Yeah, she's gonna basically dig her paws in and prepare to. How far is this thing away from her?
20 feet.
20 feet. Okay. She is going to use half of her movement to get to the owlbear, but she's gonna leap out and attempt to. Let's see. Bite attack. Sorry. I'm
Yep.
reading the stats. I'm like, wait, what's the
Oh,
word?
you're
Yeah,
good,
you only
bro.
have
This is new to you.
you only have the bite attack in your
Yep.
wolf form.
Okay. Yeah, she will try to do a bite attack aiming for its neck.
Okay.
So that's going to be. Ooh, that's going to be a 24. I rolled a 19.
That is a hit.
Nice.
Okay.
Get him, bro. Get him.
All right.
Get that pelt.
Okay.
Is it called a pelt if it's an owl bear? What's the feathery part
That's an
called?
owlbear pelt.
Okay.
Bear. That is going to be 14 points of damage.
Oh yeah, you just rip into this owl bear and it just sort of lets out this I would like
What? Oh.
Doc and Mizya to make perception checks.
Oh no.
And Teera, you can do so at disadvantage.
Oh.
You're
That's a
asleep.
dirty 20.
18.
8.
Sorry, Robo.
Very
Mizya
tired.
and Doc, you hear this sound somewhere distant, but not terribly distant. And because of the 18 and the 20 that you rolled, you both notice that Assyria and Soren are nowhere to be seen.
Doctor,
Do they notice that Teera is fast asleep?
Oh yeah, Tira's sound asleep next to the fire probably. Also, let me just see here real quick. My dice are rolling like Vorn would typically. Vorn is sawn logs too. I rolled a 1.
Oh my god.
Oh,
he is
no.
cursed.
Let me just try and see if I do what Ricky does and roll on the character sheet. With disadvantage. Yeah, it's a 10. So yeah, Vorn's sawn logs, so's the other.
Yes, Mizya.
did you hear that?
Yes.
I don't see Syria either.
No, I'm
That's-
sure it's fine.
That did not sound fine, Doctor.
I mean, if Assyria was going to leave, she would have said something because I was here and I was watching and I was looking around and I wanted to see if there was something happening, but nothing happened. So I'm sure it's okay.
Yes, that is quite odd. I can't believe she would wander off on her own, but she's clearly not here, and that's a distressing sound. I think we should go check.
All right, let's go investigate.
Assyria,
And,
you have caught this owl bear completely by surprise. It swipes at you with its claws and whiffs bad.
Oh, nice.
It goes to take a bite at you. And instead, blood sprays from the wound that you ripped into its throat. And it exposes the wound again. I rolled a natural 1. You get an opportunity attack against
Oh
the
my
owl bear.
god.
Oh,
I rolled
geez.
my attacks were 2 and 1.
Assyria's
So
coming home
that-
full tonight, baby.
What's your AC as the wolf is 14, isn't it? Yeah, so even that 2 would have been a 9, so it was still a miss.
I also need from when she attacked the first time, I need the owlbear to make a DC 13 strength saving throw or it's knocked prone.
That is, what's the DC?
13.
It's a 19.
Oh.
Okay.
So
That's
yeah,
so-
you're not able to knock it prone, but you did catch it off guard. You get an opportunity attack on it.
Okay. That is 16 to hit.
That is a hit.
Okay.
Nice, dude, bro. Get him. Oh my god. Assyria.
And that's a 10 on the strength save. So that one, the second attack, will knock it prone.
Okay. That is 10 hit points. Or I'm sorry, 10 yes. Damage, piercing damage.
Yep, you rip into it again, and this time you're able to wrest it to the ground. That was from your opportunity attack.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to now take your turn.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
She is going to release and move slightly, not enough for it to get an opportunity attack, but you know how wolves kind of circle?
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to circle and then again.
What sound did it make?
That's a golem noise. I don't
You
know.
get advantage on this as you hear Soren come bounding behind you, and you will get your
Oh.
pack tactics as Soren
Nice.
moves into range.
Love it. Okay. That is a 21.
That's a hit.
All right.
Wow. Wow, dude, take it out.
Dice are on fire. Is this the new dice that Goblin
Yeah,
Kitty
oh,
sent
those
you?
are both the new dice. Yeah, they're black and
We're gonna have to put an embargo on Goblin Katie sending you dice.
Goblin Katie, my name is Cari. I will tell you my address. I would like some as well, even though we are not friends. I'm just saying, like,
All right.
that is 13. 13 points of piercing damage.
Oh wow. And yeah. Hold on, I gotta check something real quick.
So imagine her first hit and the hit after that, she was striking the owlbear from the right side, like right in its upper neck. Yep, just trying to, kind of grapple it to the ground and then releases and then moves to the left side. So that way the owlbear is unable to have like a side that's not injured. She's trying to slowly wheedle it down, realizing the size of it.
What was the damage on that second attack?
That was 13.
Okay. You are not going to believe this. So, it's prone. So, its attacks are at disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 20. I re-rolled
One.
it. And I rolled a 20.
No.
The owlbear, as you make this second attack, or as you make this attack, is actually before I roll this crit damage. I forgot. Soren actually gets to go on your initiative. So Soren actually gets to make an attack.
All right.
The chances of 2 nat 20s in a row is 1 in 400. This is math teacher tips at Scribes and Scrolls, the Candlekeep Mysteries. Thank
You
for
do
joining.
hear as Soren comes bounding in and leaps in for an attack with advantage for pack tactics, plus it's prone anyway. You do hear / sense the word foolish pup as Soren makes his attack.
All
Are
right.
you a pup, dude? Oh my god.
22.
That's a hit.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. He's going to make bite attack. And that's going to be switching to Soren's dice. 7, 8 piercing damage.
Okay.
And it has to make a DC 11 strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
It's already prone.
Okay, that's right.
Doc and Mizya, you still hear out in the woods, you hear the sounds of of this fight between some animals, some distance into the woods.
All right. Well, if you want to go, we can go and look. We should probably let Teera and Vorn sleep though, because they're very tired.
Yes,
Damn
that
you.
does seem prudent.
Okay. So Doc and Mizya will walk toward the noise.
Okay.
I hate you.
I would have woken you.
I appreciate it, guys. I'm sick. I need a night where I can just watch. This is fun.
I love it. Let's not wake the fighter and the barbarian while we go investigate
No, you don't
this
wouldn't want to
wolf
do that.
slash bugbear
Let's take the
owlbear fight.
the cripplingly thin drow wizard and the dumb as rocks reborn artificer. This is gonna be fine. No,
Assyria.
Good luck.
Yes.
As Soren charges in and rips another bite out of this owlbear,
Mm-hmm.
the owlbear's head is turned towards you, and that crit bites into your own neck. You take 21 points of piercing damage from its beak. It is going to swipe at Soren. That is not good at all. It is losing a lot of blood. With disadvantage, I rolled a 2 and a 3. So it
Not
only gets
good,
a
but
9 to
ooh.
hit Soren, which I don't believe is enough.
Nope. 15.
So that is its attack. It's back to you.
All right.
I believe you're still standing.
Yep. Barely. But yeah.
The owlbear is bleeding profusely from numerous bite marks.
He, after that hit, kind of reels back, and you see her in her wolf form kind of shaking side to side and then crouching low, and she's going to lunge again, trying to bring this thing down.
All right.
Dice. That's Soren's dice. Okay. That is a 14.
That is going to hit.
Oh my god, dude. Mess
Did
him
you
up,
roll with
dude.
advantage?
I did not.
Because it's prone, plus you have pack tactics.
Okay. Yeah. Nope. Still the first
Okay.
one's higher. Okay. That's going to be 10 points of piercing damage as she backs off and then lunges again. This time trying to like settle on the owlbear's neck.
The owlbear is trying to rise to its feet. Soren is clamped on, still holding on, trying to drag it down. And Assyria, you sort of back up and you just leap at it again, putting your full wolf form onto it. And we cut to Doc and Mizya moving through the woods. You know the direction from which you heard the sounds, but you don't hear the sounds of animals fighting anymore. But you do hear some sort of scuffling and growling from up ahead. Go ahead and make me survival or investigation checks.
Oh.
Quite lovely out at night, wouldn't you say, Doctor?
Oh, yes, it's very nice. I'm looking forward to seeing what we find when we go to where it is
Yes.
we're going. But I
It
don't know
seems
where
to have quieted somewhat, but hopefully it's nothing too serious.
I'm sure it's fine. I got a 21
Hey,
investigation.
so did I.
What's
As the
21?
two of you are walking and talking casually on a moonlight stroll through the Sword Coast forests, you emerge, and about 40 feet away, you see in the moonlight the hulking form of an owlbear slumped to the ground. You see a silvery white, almost glowing in the moonlight, wolf ripping in and feasting on this kill. Assyria, your hackles raise as you sense somebody coming near.
Oh no.
You see two forms standing about 40 feet away. And you involuntarily let out a growl. From the other side of the owlbear, Soren sits upright and sort of pushes into your side to get your attention. No, pup. Friends.
Oh, buddy.
Oh.
Oh my god. I tried to tell Assyria that they were friendly, but she didn't exactly listen. She was inexperienced. I did all I could.
Doc and Mizya, you don't recognize this wolf. But then you see Soren pop up from behind the owlbear alongside this wolf.
Oh,
They are
I
both
think-
growling at you.
Mizya, I think we interrupted Soren at an inopportune time. We should back away slowly.
Dude, yes.
Yes, Doctor. I think that might be the most prudent course of action.
Everything seems fine. And Doc is going to begin to back away.
Maintaining eye contact with the canines as back into the woods.
This really was a lovely stroll.
It really is quite nice out. It's unfortunate that we had to stumble across whatever that was, but hopefully Soren will be okay. I wonder where Assyria is.
Animals do it. At least that's what Teera said.
Yes,
It sure is.
I have heard something of that at some point, but I know not.
Teera, make a perception check at disadvantage again.
Okay. Oh, that's not actually that bad. That's a 15.
And Vorn got a 16.
Oh, you can never tell Ricky he beat me.
Nope.
He will not watch this whole thing. You can't
No.
tell him.
We'll just texted him.
Damn it.
The sounds of Doc and Mizya walking and talking, coming back to camp, awaken the two of you. As you just hear casual talking from them.
Oi! Who goes there?
Obviously, it's Doc and Mizya, Teera. Goodness.
Yes, we're in touch of watching. I don't know why you would think it'd be something else.
Oh, you guys.
I saw the
must-
oddest thing. Soren was doing something with an owlbear and a giant wolf. It was quite strange.
Does he
Yeah,
have like a
the three of them were
buddy?
together. It was very awkward.
I look around. I'm like, you. I'm still just kind of waking up. I'm like, you two weren't supposed to have a watch. What were you doing out there?
I always watch.
Yes, same.
But Doc, you were after Assyria. I look around. I'm like, where is she?
I don't know. She disappeared. But Soren was over there, so I'm sure she's fine.
Did you see Assyria with him?
No, but he seemed really busy. I didn't want to interrupt and ask him where Assyria was.
What the shit, Doc? That's exactly the kind of thing you wake the whole party for. Somebody's missing. Mizya, what the hell?
But
Well,
but
the
you were
doctor
sleeping.
said it would be fine, and
You trusted him?
well, I
You
don't
two
see
are-
why not.
Remind me never to let you two take watch ever again. And Assyria kind of gets up
Okay,
and marches.
sleepyhead.
Sorry, Teera gets up and starts marching into the frickin' forest. I start marching into the forest. I'm pissed. What, Doc? As I look back over my shoulder, I'm like, what is your question?
Doc stays on watch.
I am going to find Soren and hopefully therefore Assyria, since neither of you chuckleheads saw her. And I'm gonna go start looking for Assyria in the frickin' forest.
Vorn grabs
Well-
his axe and groggily says, probably in Orcish, as he's still half asleep, says that he'll come with you.
I say yes, good brother, and back in Orcish, and I'm just like pissed, still like glaring daggers at both Doc and Mizya for this
I call
terrible
out-
decision.
I call out to Vorn, in Orcish, don't forget your forest goggles.
I turn over my shoulder and I just sort of like look back at Mizya and I like point a finger and I'm like, to be continued. And I then like start like turn back and I just start marching again into the forest.
Meanwhile, Vorn has started doing that sleepy shuffle walk, and he's like, "Oh yeah, these are my sleep goggles. Yeah, here's my forest goggles. Wait, no, nighttime forest goggles.
Yeah, very specific.
And
man.
go ahead and roll with advantage on a survival or investigation check.
Okay. Ooh, that is gonna be survival for sure. Oh my god, it's so bad.
Use a tome.
I'm not gonna because I'm on tome hiatus as a punishment from last week. It's a
That's
12.
self-flagellation. They're your tomes.
I used
I'm
one.
gonna do it.
take
No, no,
What did you
Take it.
get?
a 12.
Take it.
And I'm very good at hunting.
I would like
Okay.
Doc and Mizya to also make perception checks
God damn
back
it.
where they are.
Sarah's
Uh,
going to be in the next county.
I'm
That's what's
going
going
in
to
the-
happen.
I'm going in
That's
the
a
totally
22.
wrong direction.
I got a 2.
Oh, God. She's going to be in the next county.
Mizya, you notice that after you watch them leave, you look over by something catches your eye. You can see everything beyond the fire. You see everything in these sort of black and white, but you can see details because of your dark vision. And you see right by where Vorn and Teera go. Teera practically stepped on it, but didn't see it. You see Asaria's armor, bow, sword, boots, cloak, leaning against this tree, as if she were wearing them, but they're all just sort of discarded where they lay.
Do you think
Doctor,
she took Tira's advice and went back to Candlekeep?
Oh.
if she did, she left all of her belongings, and it does seem quite, well, silly to try walking back in the nude. So I'm going to guess no.
No.
I'll take your word for it.
Well, Doctor, I do believe we should probably follow with Teera and Vorn before we get yelled at again.
Oh,
Perhaps the lovely walk will cheer them up a little bit,
yeah. Tira seemed grumpy.
as per usual.
Okay. I feel silly to just turn around and go back again, but okay.
We seem to do a lot of silly things with this group, so what's one more?
Yes, yes.
Oh
Yes.
my god. I love it so much.
Always liked you, Doctor. And I'll just kind of like reach up and like try to hook my elbow into Doc's elbow,
And
but it's like it's,
as Mizya does that, Doc is gonna lean down like this.
Oh,
So
Ease
that-
my Kronk. Ease my Kronk is what I'm
He's
visualizing.
Kronk, he's Kronk.
Dwight, you found your Kronk after all.
right?
Hey.
Hey.
All right. So I would like Vorn and Teera to make survival or investigation checks.
Okay.
Just
Can I-
straight up. Can you
it's
what?
One tome. It's one tome for advantage.
It is.
I guess I'll use one tome. Just one.
You got them. You got 4. You got 19 of them.
I'll just use one for advantage, please. Thank you.
All right.
That's a nat 20 with it. Of course, that one was a 19 and a 20. This is bullshit. This game is not fair. Nat 20.
All right. Vorn is like, I don't know if these are the right forest. Are these? Oh, this is for a deciduous forest. This is a pine forest.
I call over my shoulder, I'm like, Bone, you could try your own eyes for once.
And you are able to see with the moon, the full moon being high up in the sky now, you're starting to see signs of, you actually see where Doc and Mizya walked previously. And before long, you come upon the owlbear with two wolves just devouring this owlbear. And one of them is a massive silvery, almost, it's not truly glowing, but because of the silver whiteness of its fur and the full moon coming in, this thing is almost glowing white. And you see Soren next to it as these two wolves are devouring this dead owlbear. A few moments later, Doc and Mizya will come up behind you, but first you can say or do whatever it is you're going to do.
I just kind of, as soon as I see them eating, Teera knows better than to get in the middle of wolves and their meat. So Teera just says, shh, and then just kind of says like, just like, oh, you just let them finish, and then we're gonna call Soren over and head back to camp. Anybody see a area?
I think maybe this is about when we stumble in behind and not quiet at all. Yes, I found her armor back at camp.
You found her armor? So like,
Yes.
what? So not only is she lost, but somewhere she's naked. Okay, great. That's perfectly healthy. I'm glad you shared that with me. Thank you.
I mean, it's quite warm, so perhaps she just wanted to be comfortable.
Well, I mean, that said, like, she was coming back to camp eventually. If she wanted to take a watch naked, that's neither here nor there, but if she left and never came back, that's a problem, yeah?
I suppose it would be.
And meanwhile, Teera, as she's having this sort of silly debate with Mizya, is looking over at the carcass and watching the two wolves eat and seeing if they show any signs of kind of letting up or being done or full.
Asaria, I would like you to roll me an insight check at disadvantage.
Okay. That is going to be 9.
Again, Soren, as the two of you are feasting, Soren nudges in and you feel the words focus, hunger, friends, as you sense the presence of more people, not terribly close, but watching. You feel an instinctive desire to protect your kill, but you also don't want to leave your kill.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, as long as they don't come any closer, you shouldn't have any problems.
Okay.
The rest of you see the wolves growling, or hear them and see them, haunches sort of raised, just doing that full-on baring bloody teeth and growling deep, throaty growls as you sort of stop in your tracks.
And I just continue to watch. I'm just kind of waiting for them to be done. As soon as it looks like they're done and full, I'm going to call Soren.
this is a big owl bear, and it looks like they will be at this for a while.
Well, and I kind of like look up at the sky. I'm like, and then I look back at Mizya and Doc and Vorn, and I'm just like, there's not a lot we can do until it's light out. Shall we go back to camp? Look in the morning.
That was somewhat of what Doctor and I were thinking before. The Soren seems perfectly fine, and Assyria is clearly not in the area, so perhaps we just go back to camp and wait.
As I recall, we both thought it and said it out loud.
Yeah, but you didn't find Assyria, and you didn't feel any particular need to do so, even though apparently you found her armor without her in it.
That was just now.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I'm tired. We should probably go back to camp, and I'll leave it. And I like reach into my pouch and I like pull out some copper pieces, and I'm like, we'll leave a trail, and then in the morning we'll come back to this spot, and we'll start here, and we'll find her.
Doc is going to lean into Mizya, and it said, and he's going to say to them, "It took her a minute, but Teera's come around to exactly what we said."
With that, we're going to do a wipe transition to eventually you go back to the camp, and before laying back down, Vorn grabs some more of the pork that was cooked that night and eats a little bit more before, I imagine him just falling asleep, holding on to a couple ribs. As you're able to head back to sleep, you know, Teera, you need sleep. You lost a little bit of time, but not enough that will affect your long rest if you go back to sleep now.
Awesome.
Doc and Mizya are able to maintain watch. Mizya was going to take watch anyway. Mizya, you need a little more time for your trance, but you still maintain an awareness because only about 3 hours had passed. But morning comes. Assyria, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage.
Okay.
Oh no.
11.
That's not bad for disadvantage, honestly.
It's 11, but it's also you failed it by 5 or more.
Yeah.
You are going to take 2 additional points of exhaustion.
Oh.
You have 3 points of exhaustion right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Which means you have disadvantage on ability checks, your speed is halved, and you have disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws.
Yep.
Also, because of that failure, the way this scene plays out in the morning, after waking up, Mizya, Vorn, Doc, and Teera, names were blanking on me. The entire party goes back to where they last saw Soren, not seeing any sign of Assyria returning, nor any signs of Soren. You go back to where the carcass of the owl bear, and a lot of it is gone. And there's just a mess around this. And there you find Soren nearby, curled around a bloody and naked Assyria.
Shit.
What do you do?
Frankly, I tell Vorn and Doc to stay back. And I go over to Assyria and I like take my like cloak off. And I'm like, "Oi. Elf, wake up.
That's not a very nice way to say that. And I will
Shut
kneel
up.
down, and I'll just kind of gently, like shake at Assyria's shoulder. Are you okay, dear?
You
Checking
are,
for vital signs or.
Assyria, you awaken to Teera's harsh voice and a surprisingly gentle-toned Mizya. You are groggy, and as I said, you are very exhausted.
Also, you feel a draft.
You are full, and you notice that you are covered by this bluish fur-lined cloak that belongs to Teera. And other than that, you are not wearing anything.
Kind of slowly sit up with the cloak.
Nearby, you see the carcass of a half-devoured owlbear. And the memory of last night comes rushing in, but it's more emotion, primal sensations. But you get these quick, like rapid fire flashes of the fight. So it's, imagine the movie where you're seeing you gripping your head, and it's just that quick flash of, you know, these quick flashes of this fight, and then you and Soren, and sort of this memory of Soren looking at you as you were sort of finishing on the owlbear, and you were starting to feel full, and you were feeling sluggish, and you just get this feeling from Soren of rest, much more to learn, pup. And now you see your friends all around you.
As she's stirring, I turn to Vorn, and I just kind of gesture back towards camp. Armor. Vorn, go get the armor.
Yeah. And Vorn turns and just jogs quickly. Ricky doesn't have a catchphrase.
As Vorn turns away, Doc is looking at this whole thing happening, and he sees Assyria's bloody, naked body, and he sees Teera leaning over them, and Mizya leaning over them, and he sort of glances down at the patch on his jacket and looks over to Vorn. He's like, "They call me doctor. What am I doing over here?"
Oh. Oh my god.
Sarah will kind of, again, she's sitting up slowly. She's very tired. What happened?
Well, you've been gone for quite some time. Are you hurt, dear?
I don't think so. I'm exhausted.
Would you like me to have Doctor look over you?
Perhaps when I'm... And she looks down close. Thank you. Recognizing the cloak. And she'll look over it too. Thank you.
I nod. You okay? Is any of that blood yours?
I don't think so.
We were hoping you could tell us what happened, love.
It doesn't make total sense. It's just flashes. I wasn't feeling that well.
Why weren't you feeling well? What do you mean? Food poisoning? Was it the
No.
pork?
And she'll kind of look over at Doc and seeing that Voren's gone away. She'll kind of hoping, since nothing to my knowledge has happened, that nothing would come of it, but I think we have a lot to talk about. And I think it starts with this, and she'll slowly move down the cloak to where the curse mark is.
The curse
What's
mark
that?
is where
It's
previous.
on her, yeah, it's right on her left side, if I recall.
Where previously it was almost like a blackened bruise. Right now, it is a bright, angry red.
Oof.
Do I recognize it? Would I have seen this mark in any of my studies at all, anywhere?
Make me a history check at advantage.
I say 17.
I would say with the 17, you know enough that it's associated. You don't know a whole lot about it, but you do know that when you came across similar markings, they were associated with lycanthropes.
And I know that I had previously failed a roll on knowledge about lycanthropy, so I think it's just in passing. I know only that it is associated with it, but I don't know what that means.
It's like whenever Mizya came across lycanthropy in their studies, they sort of were like, okay, yeah, this is not something I want to get into right now.
Right.
Like, you didn't spend a whole lot of time studying lycanthropy.
But I think I've probably got enough to put 2 and 2 together at this point. And it's just real hush. I kind of lean in. Werewolf?
A what?
Oh, so loud.
I
You see
turned to
it's-
Teera. Shh.
You see Sarah look like small smile because Teera's back to being Teera, but like loud.
Sorry. A
Okay.
what?
Um,
Oh, wait. Did you say a werewolf?
Did you eat this owlbear?
she'll look down at the blood. I think so.
You are
Oh, shit.
very, very full.
Oh
Was the meat good?
Yeah.
You ever had owlbear before? Mizzy? I've had owlbear before. It's really good, though. I had it when it was cooked.
That was an inside joke specifically
Yeah.
for me.
Yay.
That goes to anybody watching that's a part of our home D&D group.
I said, and at that point, Teera kind of stands like ramrod straight for a second. He's like, "Oh shit! Last night was the full moon." Oh, and then I kind of like look again at Asaria. I'm like, "Are you okay? Is everything like non-furry?"
Like that I know of. I'm just exhausted, honestly. And you see, like, she's talking, but every now and then she starts doing the whole bet, like, you know, the weave of you're trying to stay awake, but you're so tired. So you
Well,
start kind of
Yes,
bobbing
well,
back and forth.
Asaria,
Huh.
can you stand? Can you walk? We could meet Vaughn halfway. It's a
Um,
good.
I might need a little help getting back to camp.
Doctor, and I'll wave Doc over. Would you be kind enough to carry our friend?
Oh, that's no problem at all. And he'll scoop Asaria up and carry her like a baby.
Awesome.
Hi.
Hello.
As you are walking back to camp, Doc carrying Asaria, the others nearby, Vorn comes running up, holding the bundle, but then stops, seeing you all approaching. As all of you are essentially walking back to camp, walking toward the camera, Teera walks past, and Mizya walks past. We see Soren sort of loping along next to Doc, and Asaria seeming very small, wrapped in this blue fur-lined cloak of Teera's, cradled in Doc's arms. And we sort of, Doc is moving toward camera, and we see a close-up on Doc's face, and then it sort of does that as he gets close, and we see the back of Doc's head. But it's illuminated by candlelight, lantern light.
Oh, cool.
And we see a stone chamber. Sconces on the walls with lanterns hanging from them, filling the room partially with a warm glow, but creating shadows in other parts of this room. Doc is standing at a long table on which are scales and mortars and pestles, beakers, flasks, tubing with liquid of various colors running through them, specimen jars containing a variety of different creatures no longer living, notes piled high on this table. As Doc is there, and we see Doc's face and hands as he's writing have a healthy glow to them. It's not the pallid gray skin of Doc that we're used to seeing. As Doc is scribbling in his notes, and just over Doc's shoulder in a corner of the room, shrouded in shadow, is a cage. Suddenly, something slams heavily against the side of the cage. We hear a growling, and Doc turns to look at the cage, and we hear Doc's voice say, "It's no use. You're going to have to ride out the entire process." And Doc turns back to scribbling in his journals. And the camera slides down, following along the floor, and turning and moving towards this cage. We see in the shadow two luminous yellow eyes, and we hear a low canine growl. And it fades to black as we end the session.
Oh my god! Was Doc a monster? Was he like,
Oh my gosh! He's
Oh my
Dr.
God.
This is not the first time we've seen Doc involved in some sort of...
well,
No.
it's the first time we've known Asaria was a werewolf and that he's doing werewolf crap.
What, you don't know
Was
that
Doc
he was
like a
doing any
Nazi?
werewolf crap?
Was he like a Nazi doctor? Oh god.
God.
Oh, no.
This
Scary.
is the Sword Coast. There's no Nazis.
Okay, good.
Watch out for those
Scary.
weeping friars, though.
Oh.
All right.
My.
Well, I'm glad we got over the early technical difficulties. I will have to do some work this week on editing together the pieces of VOD.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Oh, there's some stuff. What a session.
Yeah, this
a
was
very good
one that was. I mean,
Oh.
I had a contingency plan, but this session was heavily reliant on Jordan being able to play tonight. But if
I wasn't
not,
gonna miss it for the world.
If
Heck
not-
no.
Behind the scenes,
We
Jordan
would've-
was sending a long message in the Discord, like right before we were ready to play, and we were all like, huh? Like hoping she
well,
was
I'll tell you what.
coming
If Jordan couldn't play, it would have been Dwight's favorite type of session. We would have spent the entire session role playing one day of travel.
in.
You mean like we just played an entire
No, you had
session
you
one
had
night
a
of-
24-hour
not travel.
period today.
Of course. Of course.
You wouldn't have gotten to night. It would have ended with
true.
nighttime.
We would have been like
Wow.
picking flowers in some field
Which is
somewhere.
funny because at the end of last
Harvesting honey.
session, I said, "Oh yeah, we'll start moving into longer travel units." Well, you couldn't. You knew
Had
that
they?
you knew the full moon
Yep.
was today, and something was happening. So, thank you everybody who tuned in tonight.
Yes.
I'm gonna shout out because this is one of the things that I do when you join the Mini Terrain Domain Coffee memberships. I'm gonna shout out Ashenworks / Brandon, who has joined as an adventurer.
Yay.
RQ Stefan, who has joined as a hero, and Hawkmere, who has joined as an adventurer, to support the stream, much like Patreon monthly. There are rewards rather, that are tied to those that I'm working on putting into place very soon. That will include exclusive content, but thank you for that. It gives the players the domain tomes and it helps support the channel, so we do appreciate that greatly. Currently, I'm using my coffee to raise money to pay for a much more comfortable place to work and DM from, as my chair is slowly disintegrating under me.
always the way.
So thank you to everybody who showed up tonight. Thank you to Acersin for the gift subs, and I think some others a couple of resubs in there as well. So thank you for that. We have today's Monday. Is there something on Wednesday? No, we finished. We finished
In
our Curse of the Mummy
fashion.
Lord. You definitely want to
Enjoy
head
the
over to
VOD.
Big Bearded Nerd and check out that VOD for that finale session. And then ooh, this is gonna get me. Nope, it's muted. Whew.
Whew.
I was loading up the main page so that I could get ready to do a raid. Thursday, Dawnbringers. Dawnbringers are very near the end of season 5, Rime of the Frost Maiden, and they have just learned that they thought Arviatris was dead. Maybe she is, and maybe she isn't. If you don't know what that means, I guess you should probably come over and start watching Dawnbringers with us.
Darn right, sure.
And a reminder, this Saturday, tune in to the twitch.tv/Team Squad Up for Quest for the Cure, all day adventures going on. I'll be starting things off at around, noon or noon 30 on
Noon.
Saturday, Eastern. All raising money for Duchenne muscular dystrophy research, Quest for the Cure. And we're getting close to that 30,000, or rather, Gary, I should say I'm just helping. That $30,000 hit that goal by the end of the day, and Gary will self-administer a no-hawk. So again, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Gary, for putting the link to the Twitch channel. Go follow that channel so you don't miss out. We are going to raid Zerjester, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and queue that raid up so that we can send our love over there. So as that's queuing up, I just want to also say a huge thank you, of course, to my amazing players. Because of them, Mondays are fun again. Thank you to Gary, Jordan, Cari, Dwight, and even though he wasn't here with us, he was here with us in spirit, Ricky. without whom it would just be me talking to myself for a couple hours. So with that, we are going to end this stream the same way we end every stream, and you can say it with me if you want.
Hey.